My name is Gavin Waage. I'm 8 years old and I go to St. Joe's. I like to swim, I like to fish, I like to play baseball, I like to play basketball, and I like to play hockey and sometimes hunt.
We knew something was wrong when we had our 20-week ultrasound, our anatomy screen, and they took a lot longer than we thought they should. And then they had us come back 4 weeks later for some additional views, and then we found out about his heart defect. As he was growing, we realized he was not meeting his milestones. He wasn't starting to roll, and we knew he was weak and had a lot of growth to do, but later we realized when he was about 9 months old, that he had a stroke, which affected the right side of his body. And that's why he wasn't able to meet some of those milestones.
His initial heart procedure was the most complex, and he was 6 days old when he had that. And he was in the hospital for just over 30 days. And then his second was a little less complex, and he was in the hospital, I think, between either 16 or 19 days. And his last one was the long one. That was the least complex of his procedures, but he was in the hospital for 77 days because he had a complication of the surgery. So we were there for 11 weeks. So that was a long haul, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had gross food.
It was not good. Remember the fat-free hot dogs?
Yeah.
He had to have a chest tube in the entire time, and if he ate fat, the way the complication was, the fat would drain out of his chest, so he had to eat fat-free food, which was not good.
Gross.
When he had the stroke, it affected his right side, and you couldn't really tell with his gross motor movements. Going up and down stairs was hard for him, and we noticed improvement with that, but it was really being able to isolate his pointer finger and use his thumb. He had a lot of work with Leah and Angie, and that's probably where I saw the most progress, and it was so fun because Angie would come and tell us day to day how much better he was doing. It was a lot of support from family and friends and leaning on each other and doing what we needed to do. So these are Gavin's beads of courage. For each procedure he had while he was hospitalized, he was given a bead. So each colored bead or size or shape represents a different procedure. And there are some of the bigger beads that you can see here, and that represents 100 procedures.
How long has Gavin been doing Caring for Kids?
Since the very first one. When they had, I think, 2 or 3 kids, he was one of the very first All-Stars. From the time he is asked till the time the event comes, he is very excited, asking about it. We're counting down, he's practicing golf. When Gavin was born and he was in the cardiac ICU at Children's, Macy Jo was also on the same floor as him, so she would walk down past his room and say hi and wave at him during her walk, so she was recovering.
Do you remember names of some of the therapists you worked with?
April, Christy, Leah, and Angie. We were practicing on grabbing goldfish with my right hand, walking up and down stairs, whiteboard, and swing. I worked really hard. The hardest thing I had to do in therapy is probably the whiteboard. The most fun thing that I had to do in therapy is the rock climbing wall and swing.
So unless you pay close attention to Gavin, you wouldn't really notice that he is special, but he has come a long way, and his hard work with his Grand Itasca therapist and care team are really who we can thank for his incredible progress.